Frankie Russo pre-show. How y'all doing? 133. America's team help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. We got to do this. Fundraising is slow. My email is frusso1414 at AOL.com. You got to check it out. Help America's team help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. We got to do this. Okay, fundraising slow right now, but we ain't stopping. Man, I worked out today before I came over here. I'm kind of tired, but I took my vitamins, so I'm good. All right, here we go. Obama fraudulent sector service card, statistically significant. Then you got the Clinton Foundation attached memorandum of understanding with the Obama State Department and the Clinton Foundation. Co-mingling, absolutely. State Department server in Hillary Clinton's basement, statistically significant. IG report. Iranian Global Terror Network, Iranian surrogates. So I've been going through a lot of articles before I went on the air. That's the model that we built up here at 77 WABC. It's like an oral term paper. I'm going on the air in an hour. I'm like crazy today. Okay, where am I? Let's see what I end off. Okay. So we got behind the scenes. Oh yeah, this is funny. Venezuelan president is chased by angry protesters. President Maduro was chased at a political event by a crowd of angry protesters banging on pots and yelling they were hungry, just days after the thousands of Venezuelans took to the streets to call for his ouster. So, it was a crazy week. You know what's crazy, man? I was watching Bill O'Reilly, one of the Fox News programs. Oh yeah, Bill O'Reilly. He has something on Hillary Clinton. Like he did Hillary Clinton. What people accuse her of, are they real or not? And Monday he's doing Trump. So today he did Hillary Clinton, and she talks about Libya, and she says that oh yeah, there was like over seven. The Ambassador Stevens has been requesting security over, according to the testimony before Congress. I think the Congressman Mike Pompeo was questioning Hillary Clinton, and he claimed that's over 600, 700 security requests. And she claims that she never got any one of them, that there wasn't any issue with Libya with security. Well, being the dude that I am, I look for statistical significance, and court papers, judge. This is my disclaimer: court papers, judges' decisions. I'm on the outside looking in. I don't have access to classified documents. I don't sit on the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I don't sit on any Congressional Oversight Committee. So what I do is I get court papers, judges' decisions. I get peer-reviewed journal articles and open source, well-researched articles. And I look for statistical significance. I have a quasi model, and I look for statistical significance. In all likelihood, in all probability, I look for inferences, trends, and patterns. Now, I know Claire Lopez and Kenneth Timmerman claim that the precursor to Benghazi was the coup d'état on Gaddafi. Now there's sentiments out there claiming that the coup d'état wasn't real, it was fake, because of the interacting between the Transnational Council, which was Muslim Brotherhood, Mustafa Jalal, Abdel Hakim Abdel Hakim Belhaj, were the two leaders of the Transnational Council, and they were the ones that were being materially supported. They were the leaders, the military commanders of this group that the Obama Clinton administration was fronting, called Operation Zero Footprint. And Operation Zero Footprint had Saudi Arabia, had Turkey, Qatar, and UAE, according to Claire Lopez. So they were materially supporting, according to Lopez and Ken Tillman, Al Qaeda, where and that was a big problem because the reason why, according to Claire Lopez, that this was so statistically significant was that they have such a long history in the radical Islamic terror plots throughout the world, going all the way back to Afghanistan with Osama bin Laden. A lot of these radical Islamists that were being utilized with this Islamic Libyan Islamic fighting group that Operation Zero Footprint was materially supporting with money, weapons, human assets, and training. Headed up by the Obama Clinton administration. So what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way, because my brain is not operating fully yet. Hopefully now it will. Hopefully my vitamins kick in. That what Gaddafi did was Gaddafi, under the urges of his son, according to Claire Lopez, and the U.S. Embassy, he was celebrating his 41st year or whatever of being in power from the '69 coup d'état that he did in Libya over 40 years ago, in reconciliation with all these radicalisms, in reconciliation with all these radical Islamists, he put them in jail, right, up until 2011. He let them out. So, in all intents and purposes, these radical Islamists that are running rampant in Libya, it was like when he released those radical Islamists before the coup d'etat on him, it was considered one of the biggest concentration of radical Islamists in the North African, Middle Eastern region. Libya, the Libyan nationals were fighting in all of these skirmishes in other countries. So I mean, I don't understand. What I'm trying to say is I don't understand how Hillary Clinton didn't know that Libya had security issues. I mean, that's how bad it goes. It is. I think anyway. But that's just my take on it. I think based on the data that I've accumulated, well sourced, Claire Lopez, Kenneth Tillman. I mean, it's really hard to understand how she could actually say, Hillary Clinton, that she didn't know that Libya had serious, serious security issues. It's just amazing to me. Wow. Pope proclaims dispenser of mercy, Mother Teresa as a saint. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Mexican soldiers kill 10. Let me see what this is about. Oh. Hmm. So I compiled some articles here. Mexican soldiers kill 10 after highway ambush near U.S. border. Let's see quickly. Mexican soldiers killed 10 after highway ambush near U.S. border. Mexican soldiers of a criminal group killed 10 members of a criminal group accused of ambushing a military patrol near the U.S. border in the violent northern state of Tepilas. A military convoy was attacked by armed men in several vehicles on a highway outside the border city of Nuevo Laredo, according to a statement from the state's Joint Military and Police Task Force. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Crazy week, right? 5.6 earthquake rocks Oklahoma. There's some attributing this to the the red moon. I don't know. Here, red blood moon, record-tying Oklahoma earthquake felt as far as Arizona. They claim that, according to what I read, they claim that the red blood moon is means a lot of earthquakes are coming. Right? Hmm. Record-tying earthquake. We discussed this a few seconds ago. Heard all the way as far as Arizona. Crazy, right? Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Humans could become addicted to mind-blowing romps with sex robots, according to expert. God, something that absolutely, I gotta get myself a robot. Oh God, that'll be the day. Frankie Russo gets a robot. Love machine humans could become addicted to mind-blowing romps with love machine. Oh, you gotta see what they look like. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny, bro. It's funny. How spy tech firms let government see everything on smartphone. Hmm. Let's see one. I don't know why this thing pops up all the time. Defiant Merkel says refugees are not taking away benefits from Germans. That's the Islamist refugees. Let's see what else we got here. Just one page. Meet the mastermind behind Clinton's massive cover-up, massive email cover-up. Cheryl Mills. Cheryl Mills. Paul Sperry. This is a good guy. I got to read this article. Sperry is good. Sperry is good. Hmm. I may take two on this one. Hmm. I'm going to read Sperry. I like Sperry. He's good. He's very well versed on radical Islamic terror throughout the world. Very well versed. Hmm. I'm going to start with this one. How many pages is it? I'm going to start with this article. All right, so we're popping. The curious case of Cheryl Mills. So everybody who doesn't know who Cheryl Mills is the former chief of staff of the Secretary of State Department. In other words, she was the chief of staff of Hillary Clinton's State Department, the Obama Clinton State Department. She was the So the curious case. The FBI's Labor Day weekend document dump regarding its investigation of Hillary Clinton gives those who thought the result was predetermined much to complain about. The FBI's notes confirmed that her former, this is the Weekly Standard, they're very good. They're not Trump people, but they're awesome. They're very good reporters. The FBI's notes confirm that her former chief of staff, Cheryl Mills, who also was on the board of the Clinton Foundation, this is what goes the problem with the commingling of the Clinton Foundation and the State Department and the State Department server in Hillary Clinton's basement. At one time, shared IP addresses, and so there was a commingling of documents. And the Judicial Watch confirmed it on the other end with their FOIA request, the Freedom of Information Act request. So this is this is statistically significant. Absolutely. The FBI notes confirmed that her former chief of staff, Cheryl Mills, was among the several lawyers representing Clinton in her FBI interview. Mills was hip deep in the events at the heart of the FBI's criminal investigation and was herself a material witness who had previously sat for her own interview. Yet, not only was she allowed by the Department of Justice to participate as counsel in Clinton's interview, her communications with Clinton and other material witnesses were actively protected by the DOJ. Typically, the DOJ would escrows, where a material witness sought to act as a lawyer for the subject of a federal criminal investigation. In Mills' case, justice lawyers, DOJ lawyers, went out of their way to accommodate this highly unusual dual hat role. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to read this paragraph and I'm going to read something else. Mills, who was a regular correspondent with Clinton on Clinton's homebrewed email server, which is really the State Department server, testified as a fact witness about her personal knowledge of Clinton's email setup in both the FBI investigation and related civil depositions. At the same time, Mills purported to represent Clinton as her lawyer. Mills was not, however, a lawyer for Clinton during her tenure at the State Department. Her title was Chief of Staff and Counselor. The counselor position, according to Mills's testimony, in one of many Hillary Clinton email FOIA cases, Freedom of Information Act cases, not a lawyer role. It was a policy role, according to Cheryl Mills. Mills contends that after leaving the State Department, she was hired by Clinton as a personal lawyer to coordinate the response to the State Department's demand for return of email. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that one alone. Okay, so what do we got here? Let's see what we got. Defiant Merkel, the Prime Minister, the President, Prime Minister of Germany, says the refugees are not taking away benefits from Germans. So basically, she's claiming that she's a German chancellor whose Conservative Party faces possible defeat, rejected charges by anti-immigrant critics that her government was spending less on Germans due to a large influx of refugees. And this is the big problem we have here, and it's a big problem, right? How spy tech firms like governments see everything on a smartphone. Let's see. The I friggin' okay. Want to invisibly spy on 10 iPhone owners without their knowledge? Gather their every keystroke, sound, message, and location. That will cost you $650,000 plus a $500,000 setup fee with an Israeli outfit called the NSO Group. You can spy on more people if you would like. Just check out the company's price list. It's nuts. That's nuts. That's crazy. Humans could become addicted to mind blowing romps with sex robots, according to expert. Wow. Red blood moon, record tying earthquake, Oklahoma earthquake felt as far away as Arizona. It's 5.6 on the Richter scale. Mexican soldiers killed 10 after highway ambush. We talked about that one. We talked about the Pope proclaims Mother Teresa as a saint. God bless. That's a beautiful thing. Venezuela military personnel named to oversee food distribution. This is a scary thing. The Venezuelan president being chased by angry protesters. This is a very concerning thing. And, uh, people don't want to, people don't think it can never happen here. Right now, we got Brazil has a problem. The Brazilian president, she was impeached. I'm not, unless she committed some crimes that like Hillary Clinton, where she took a State Department server and put in the basement of her house. I don't know what, there was no real malfeasance. Maybe something with the budget laws. I'm not claiming to know all the data, but I'm not really down with impeaching, just unilaterally just start impeaching leaders, undoing a democratic act, unless there's severe malfeasance. Exclusive behind the scenes with Trump in Detroit, how Donald Trump has become the hope candidate. And Donald Trump is doing a fabulous job. I love Trump. Trump's my guy. I supported him since the escalator. And Donald Trump in June of last year. Donald Trump to me, and I just want to put the disclaimer out there. I don't have the data to support my contention. Okay, I don't believe the polls, quite frankly, and I don't know. It's just from the Reuters poll all the way down. Reuters sets the tone, and they're using. It's my understanding. I heard on Fox this week they're using 2012 the 2012 data. Really? Then they talk about, well, Romney got 90+% of the Republican support. McCain got 90% plus of the Republican support. Meanwhile, McCain and Romney lost. I just don't understand. Donald Trump, I believe the internal polling, Hillary Clinton and the Clinton campaign is very concerned. I'll put money on that Trump is winning. Internal polling, Trump is winning. And then you can't measure voter enthusiasm. And quite frankly, these opinion polls, I mean, there's no biofeedback on the other end. There's no polygraph. You don't know who's lying, who's not. How do you measure the Trump tsunami? The people that are lying say they're not going to vote. They're not going to come out and say they're going to vote for Trump. And then you got people that never voted for. So Trump is a very big wild card. And with this anti-establishment sentiment, I believe Trump is going to win handily here. All Trump's got to do is two things in his debate. Trump has to know his business plan. If it's 5 pages, 10 pages, 15 pages, whatever it is, Donald Trump has to show that each position that he's taken is well thought out, firstly. And secondly, when he's attacked, he has to take a different approach because he's going to get attacked like crazy with Hillary Clinton. There's no other way of getting around it. He has to take, and he can't come across like he's volatile and it's just not good, because that's one thing. The only argument they have against Donald Trump is that they say he's inexperienced. So all Donald Trump's got to show that he's cool under pressure and he can handle it, and that's it. But if he flies off the handle, because he could attack her in a cool, calculating way and or use some humor, and he's fine. ET is very entertaining, and I think he's a fabulous candidate. He's a natural politician, so I think that he's as long as he just does, you don't have to knock her out. You don't have to do a tremendous job. He just shows everybody that he's got it under control. He wins. It's my opinion. I don't get paid the big bucks, so all right here. Row on tarmac, an awkward G20 start for U.S. and China. Interesting. My computer froze. My computer just froze. Okay, wait. Okay, Blue Lives Matter used an arrest of New Orleans man who was charged with hate crimes against the police. So, Blue Lives Matter law was used in New Orleans to charge someone who was using expletives and hate and racial hate against the cops. Good for them, you know. And then I got the rest of this over here, so I can do this over here. So, okay. So we got Ann Coulter. She's a big Trump supporter. Big Trump supporter. Oh, here we go. Okay, my computer's. Here we go. The U.S. aide insisted that the journalists be allowed to stand behind. This is something that happened. The U.S. aide insisted that this happened at the G20 in China. The U.S. aide insisted that journalists be allowed to stand behind a rope line, and they were able to record the interaction between Obama's arrival uninterrupted, typical practice for U.S. press traveling with the president. A White House spokesman and a China's foreign ministry both did not respond immediately to requests for comment. The altercation occurred out of sight of Obama, who greeted ambassadors and other officials before the presidential motorcade pulled away with Rice. The incident is an illustration of the image-conscious ruling Communist Party's efforts to control the media as it seeks to orchestrate what it hopes to be a flawless event. China has taken extensive security measures in preparation for the G20 summit. Obama has raised issues of freedom of press on previous visits, who insist the media must follow a party line and promote positive propaganda. That's the same thing that happened with Iran, and the Iranian reporter was trying to report accurately what was going on in the Iranian negotiations, and quite frankly, he ended up defecting, claiming that that same tyrannical government, the radical Islamist government, the Islamic Republic of Iran, was not allowing him to express to report properly, and he claimed that the United States, headed by Obama and John Kerry, were representing Iran and not the other countries in this nuclear negotiation deal, fake deal anyway. I think, quite frankly. But anyway, so I got that one. Oh, 5,300 Wells Fargo employees fired over 2 million phony accounts. UN nuclear report notes Iran is making sensitive parts. Iran is moving forward, working feverishly with getting all they may have received over as much as 33.6 billion in cash gold payments from the United States, according to the Free Beacon Adam Credo. Who can make a sense of this? I mean, who makes sense of this? I have no idea. FEC commissioner warns Dems are gunning for conservative media. Judicial Watch. New Huma Abedin emails can reveal top Clinton Foundation executive Doug Band sought diplomatic passport from Clinton's State Department. Wow. Obama, that's that commingling that we talked about. There's more evidence popping out on this. Obama goes beyond mere gun control. He hints at confiscation. So this to me is this plays into this whole thing, because I'm very concerned about the an Islamist takeover. And I think you can say what you want. I'm saying is conceivably. I'm not saying that. I, I'm putting a lot of thought into it. I looked at Libya, I looked at Egypt, and it's crazy, Libya and Egypt, and how Iran, according to the Egyptian courts, when Sisi did the coup d'état on Morsi, according to the Washington Post, the Egyptian courts were claiming that it was an espionage charge against Morsi. He's serving 20 years in prison. Sisi did a coup d'état in Egypt, and they're claiming that the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Shiite government, was training the Muslim Brotherhood, Sunni, so the Shia Sunni connection, the Iranian, well, I guess because Al Qaeda is, for all intents and purposes, the militant branch of Muslim Brotherhood. So you got the Shia, the Shia Sunni connection in Egypt, and if look at you look at Libya. Libya had Muslim Brotherhood operatives from the Transnational Council, fronted fronted by Obama Clinton administration, money, weapons, and human assets. Muslim Brotherhood too, and that coup d'état they claimed was fake. It was real, whatever, but it happened. They whacked Gaddafi, and over here, what I found really problematic was not only are the borders wide open, and the borders are wide open, so radical. They got these refugees coming in, not being vetted. They have problems vetting them. I shouldn't say not being vetted, but they have problems vetting them. So that's a problem. And now what Obama did was he's released record numbers of convicted convicts, like over 600, if I'm not mistaken, of convicts from the jails to go out in the streets. So guaranteed some of them are from the Nation of Islam, who hate America. So is this a beginning of something? And then when you go in deep and you listen that it was reported by the New York Post that former CIA director John Brennan, when he was with I think it was he was a deputy of the Homeland Security, he scrubbed radical Islamist intelligence data that could have helped like an operative like Philip Haney from the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, to stop San Bernardino, to stop Orlando. He had the data to target. He had the data to target, in all likelihood and no probability, where all these radical Islamists would be, and it was scrubbed, and nobody really knows why. And to me, that's not a good sign. That's on the inside. So we got radical Islamist data being scrubbed. We got borders wide open, and you know the case out in Egypt. Obama and Hillary Clinton are on that case. They were cited as being crimes against humanity. Obama and Clinton. And what I find really really crazy, and I know it's not it's not clearly statistically significant, but it's something not to sniff at. I talk about this bill all the time, HR 5194. HR 5194 claims that Muslim Brotherhood should be designated as a foreign terrorist organization. And from HR 5194, it was presented by Michelle Bachmann and Trent Franks. And quite frankly, unfortunately, it just went to committee. It never went up for a vote. So you don't know where all these congressmen and women stand. It's a problem. That's a problem. And here's where it ties me right into polls find almost a third of Americans would support a military coup d'etat. Now, I'm not Now, I'm putting my disclaimer out there. I'm not calling for the overthrow of a military overthrow of the United States government. I'm not claiming for that. No way. Okay? I just want to make that clear. But it's interesting how people feel that the executive branch of the United States government, and the Congress included, are working together. I was going to say kuruling. I'm not pronouncing it properly because the coup d'état is like Turkey supposedly had one, which I don't believe they had one. I think that was just a subterfuge to just to do what they want to do. You know, I'm just very concerned about it, and I feel that when you think about it, they can't call in this country radical Islam what it is, radical Islam. They're more concerned about the backlash against the Muslims. And quite frankly, I mean, I have no problem, but I have a problem with the radical Islamists. The peaceful Muslims have no problem, but it's very hard to delineate between the peaceful Muslims and the Muslims that sympathize with the radical Islamists. Very hard. Segregation or sanctuary, black only university housing draws criticism. I think that's wrong. I mean, we fought segregation. Now we want, I mean, it's really crazy. Uh, 3 billion stealth ship that shows up on enemy radar as a fishing boat. That's weird. I don't know what that's all about. An Austin sex assault suspect previously deported 5 times. New York is back from Burning Man. Won't stop whining. People are not. I mean, I don't know. I don't. That's not Frankie Russo's world. I just find it crazy because I got friends that go. I don't know how they do. I don't know. And then they're not middle aged. I don't know how they do it. San Francisco's private cannabis lounge, leather seating, chess, and a concierge, a pot lounge. Women accused of setting blankets on fire during JetBlue flight. A triad clown couple says mysterious sightings have crippled business. Seahawks players may expand national anthem protest against the Dolphins. Are you kidding me? Teacher disciplined after trying to force students to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know why students are not allowed to stand for why students shouldn't be. They should be required to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, man. This is nuts. Occupants of Westworld on ugly truth behind their beautiful sex bot bordello. Primary school kids struck down with Bible flesh-eating skin disease, leprosy. Israeli UN envoy, Jew hatred at an all-time high. That's crazy because here's another thing. UN Hamas seat. There's an article on that. Here it is. It's right here. Investigative report. This is a great website. Investigative report on terrorism. Investigativeproject.org. Great site. The United Nations, this is reported by them, the United Nations Committee awarded observer status to UK-based Palestinian organization which advocates for Israel's destruction. The Palestinian Return Center, which allegedly serves as a Hamas front, earned the important designation on the UN Committee on Non-Governmental Organizations, Fox News reports, in this enabling the radical group to receive official UN badges and complete access to UN facilities. The Palestinian Return Center new status also allows it to partake in UN debates in New York, Geneva, and Vienna. The UN Committee features a 19-member panel including countries notorious for committing human rights violations: Iran, Sudan, or Iran, Khomeini, Kill America, Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, Pakistan. Tonight I was going to talk about, but I'm going to blog it first. Why isn't Pakistan designated as a foreign terrorist organization by the Obama-Clinton administration? Why not? Crazy thing, man. The move prompted harsh criticism from Israel, pointing out the PRC has direct ties to Hamas, the Palestinian Return Center. According to this script, one day we may find Hezbollah sitting at Security Council and ISIS voting at the Human Rights Council. This is the peak season for the UN's theater of the absurd. Let me see this now. UN, Syria Council. Just to show you, I'm just trying to find, there was an article. Syria, UN Syria. There was an article on I can't find the article on the UN in Syria. I gotta get going. I gotta get out of here soon. Okay. Where am I at next? So that's good though. Where was I? Okay. I should print this. All right. Chili and ginger slash the risk of cancer, stopping tumors from growing. I don't know if that's how scientific that conclusion is, but I know ginger has tremendous therapeutic values. You know, I'm big with ginger. Democrats wonder and worry, why isn't Clinton far ahead of Trump? That's what I'm talking about. Entire media freaks out after Trump overperformance in the NBC forum. I didn't see it, unfortunately. Stocks sell off. All three major indexes post worst day since June 24th. Montage, 18 times bomber trashed America in Asia. Crazy stuff. UK police may let Muslims wear burqa as uniform. What's going on here? French president says Islam can coexist with other religions. Holy Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on my soul. With that, I'm out of here. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you. Really? French president says Islam can coexist with other religions. Wow. Okay. And Donald Trump is a psychopath. Unbelievable. You just can't make this stuff up. Frankie Russo show, yeah. We got to help America's team help. The men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. We got to do this. It's slow, but we're going to make it happen. F. Russo, FRUSSO 14 at AOL.com. Send me an email. You know what I'm saying? Frankie Russo, yeah. I'll see you in about a half hour. Let me get ready. Yeah. Oh, man.